Peace, Meta Gang. Welcome to the video. Gang, time to hang. Share some things, ideas, raise our collective vibration. You know what it is. It's your host with the most, Mark Money Rock Meyer, here to do the thing. And if you don't know what the thing is, I'm about to school y'all. So pack a lunch, sit down, get something to write with and something to write on. I would definitely recommend it. You don't have to, but this is an important video, guys, and you're gonna see why. And you can listen, but if y'all have learned anything, you understand retention is a bitch. So if you listen and create and immerse yourself in this as well, you're gonna understand it, all right? So before we jump into this video, I do want to give an apology for my last video. Not for what I said, but for how I said it, okay? Because I could have gotten my message across way differently and with probably less than 100 F-bombs. I didn't count how many times I swore, but oh my goodness, it was so many times because I was fired up. But if I offended you guys, I'm sorry. I just want you to understand that I do choose my words very, very carefully. And I will curse ignorance and hatred until the day I die, okay? I know it sounded like I was just yelling at you guys in the last video, but that's really not what it was about. Like, you guys live on planet Earth too. You see ignorance and hatred every day, and I'll be damned if I don't speak up about it, okay? And like I said, that's why I gave you all a trigger warning in the last video. So let's jump right into it. This is video number 1 of our astrology series. I want to give you guys a solid foundation so you can understand how to apply this science to your life, because this is a science. This is the oldest science in the book. This was a science before books were books, guys. Believe that. So before we jump in, I'm not going to say anything because I said this before. If you're paying attention, you got the thought form. But if you ignore this, you're going to ignore this. You're going to ignore this. So I'm just going to spoon feed you the info. Okay, let's get it. So a lot of you guys don't believe in astrology, and I get it. But what you really mean to say is, I don't understand astrology. That's like me saying, I don't believe in Chinese, in Japanese, in Russian, because I can't speak those languages. Russia, China, and Japan are still real, guys. You better believe that. Look at a map. Look at the map. If you don't believe astrology is real, look up. Look up. Look at the sky. Fuck. So, guys, we did astrology forever, all right? Way before we even had books to write this stuff down in, we used to look at the moon to figure out when to plant our crops, because that bitch controls the tides and all things of that nature. And if you guys still don't think astrology is real, tell me this. How do you know the difference between night and day? Any way you answer that question has to do with astrology. Believe that. It's because the big ass thing in the sky that gives us light and life. Also, if you don't believe it, why do you celebrate your birthday? Point proven. So let's jump right the fuck in, okay? So, I'm not going to edit this video. I actually shot this yesterday. Really caffeinated, really overtired. And the info was great, all right? But my linguistic skill, oh man, it was shot. You know when you're overtired, you start slurring your words and all types of stuff like that. So what I recommend you guys get is your paper, something to write with, and let's jump right into it. So a lot of you guys are familiar with your zodiac sign because it's based on the month you were born, all right? There's 12 months of the year in the Gregorian calendar. So you've probably noticed you can't just fit in a box. You can't fit in one of the 12 boxes. A lot of those things will apply to you, but a lot of the things don't. So your horoscope probably never makes sense to you. Or if it does, you're like, damn, that's vague. All right, cool, I guess. Some of y'all read your horoscopes like it's your religion. And that doesn't make sense to me either because, dude, you are so deeper than the month you were born. And I'm gonna get into this, all right? Even before we get into the content of the video, the way you actually get a real understanding of your own natal alignments is figure out the minute you were born, not just the month. Figure out where all the other planets were and all the other astral bodies, not just the sun. And then what you want to do is figure out the angles in between them. Add geometry to the mix, because math is the language of God, all right? And once you do that, you'd be like, damn, if this isn't me, what the hell? So let's jump into this. We're not going to start with the signs, guys. We're not going to start with the elements. We're not going to start with anything like that. We're going to start with the astrological houses, okay? And I'm going to explain. So On your paper, I want you guys to draw a circle to the best of your ability, all right? And I'm gonna try my best here. Okay, that's a circle. Alrighty, cool. So this is our circumference, okay? And right in the middle of this circle, that's the Earth. So specifically, this is where on the Earth that you were born, the moment you were born, all right? And this circumference, in the third dimension, you guys, things are circles. Your whole space around you is a circle, 360 degrees. This is the sky around us. This is everything we can see above us, all right? And I said I wasn't going to say anything, but y'all, read the book. It's free on YouTube, because I'm going to talk about correspondence and polarity and a lot of things like that. And if it's going over your head, let somebody read it to you. Like, seriously, just take some time out of your day to just stop listening to music and get the info so you can really understand this. But I know a lot of you guys will be resonating regardless. So what our ancestors found is that before we connected the dots of the constellation and said, oh man, Gemini does this and Libra does this and Scorpio does this, we realized that every house in the sky, and the houses just refer to the locations in the sky relative to our position on Earth, you know? And each house has a different energy, all right? And what we do is we chop up the houses into 12. So what I want you guys to do is go ahead and draw a line through the circle, through the horizon, and then draw one through the top, all right? And this is where it gets a little tricky, so I'm gonna tell you how to do this. So what I want you to do is bisect your quadrants. So what I mean by that is start wherever you want, but cut it in half twice, boom, boom. And then do the same for the other side. Boom, boom. All right, now you got 12. 6 on the top, 6 on the bottom. So what our ancestors found was each one of these astrological houses, the energies correspond to aspects of human life. Everything it means to be a human is in this circle, because we're humans stuck on this bitch we call Earth. All right? Know that. All right. And this is, like I said, this is what it means to be human. Do you guys ever think about what it means to be a human? Dude, I think about that all the time, because my Mercury is in the 12th, and we're going to get into that so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But this explains all of it. And the reason you don't think astrology makes sense is because you don't understand the houses, and you don't understand that you have other planets too besides the sun. Like, come on. All right. So what's the first thing that it means to be human? That's going to be our ego, our individuality. Recognizing that we are separate and that we have a self. So we call the first house, it doesn't necessarily matter where you guys draw these, but like I said, I just recommend draw these. You can even write the info that I'm giving you down next to the wheel, just so you can pull yourself into it, immerse yourself in the info, and then you're going to actually be able to understand it, all right? So the first house is your house of self. Who are you? That's what we're talking about, all right? So now you know who you are, and you are who you are. Now what do? You got needs, my guy. So you better be taking care of those. House number 2 is your needs, your possessions also, your values. So this would absolutely pertain to food, water, shelter. In our world now, this absolutely has to do with money. These are the things that you need to sustain your life. That's the second house. This corresponds to Taurus, and the first would be Aries. And I'm not going to go too deep into the signs, just because through correspondence, you're going to understand why the signs are the way they are, but we're going to go over the signs in a whole nother video, okay? All right. So now that you're taken care of, you got what you need, what you going to do? What you going to do? What you going to do? You're going to move into the third house, my guy. Let's go. All right. So number 3. Ooh-wee. This is the house of, I don't even want to say relation, but this is your surroundings, your environment. Now that you have the things you need, you can be relative to the things in it, you know? This is Gemini. This is communication. This is short-term travel in your space and sharing ideas. Because now that we're good and we're taken care of, we can start talking about it. All right, word. Now, what we gonna do now? You bet your ass we're gonna go to the 4th house. Yeah, baby. All right. That's a 4, and this is gonna get real ugly because I'm doing this with my finger, but it's all right. So now that you can relate and you can speak and you can think and you have your surroundings, you make a home for yourself. The 4th house is about your home. This is about emotional security, emotional stability. This is about the people you care about, the people you love, your family. I don't even want to say domestic issues, but domestic events, things of that nature. Cancer, that's the sign this corresponds with. All right, so now that you got your place and your space and you're talking about it and you're feeling about it and you know who you are, now what are you gonna do? You're gonna have some fun, dude. You're gonna have a lot of fun. And that's what the 5th house is about. So the 5th house is about creation. It's about fun. It's about play. It's about expressing yourself. It's about vibing out. And to go deeper on creation, this is about your children, your family, the family that you create is the 5th house, all right? This is Leo. My Leos know what I'm talking about. I'm a Leo, so, oh baby, if I don't have this energy so hard in my actions, because that's my sun sign. All right, and what do we do now? Y'all can count, you know. Number 6. All right, and that completes the first half of the wheel. And what I want you guys to understand about this wheel is the first 6 houses are going to pertain to your individuality. And then the last 6 going to be quite the opposite. But opposites are identical, just varying in degrees. So what you guys are going to notice is every time we go across the wheel, you can see the same thing because opposites are identical, just varying in degree, all right? That's why I hate when people argue on Facebook and shit like that. Like, if y'all have completely bipartisan ideas, what is the chance that you are right and you are wrong? You're both fucking wrong type shit. Like, I'm sorry for getting political, but do y'all remember in history class whenever they said George Washington was like, yo, don't make political parties. And what we did immediately was like, yo, let's go divide our country. All right, cool. Fucking awesome. So the 6th house is about service. This is about your health. We call this the house of health and service. So now that we are creative and we have a place for ourselves, we can start working on the details and organizing and understanding and explaining and get into the nitty gritty. My Virgos know what I'm talking about because this house corresponds to Virgo. It's being very analytical and perfectionist to a degree. Perfection is a fleeting goal, but that's what this is about, is the 6th house. This is perfection, details, analyzing, organizing. All right, so now we're gonna move out of our individualistic houses and we're gonna go full circle. Are y'all ready? If y'all aren't ready, take a second to get ready. Smash that like button if you're learning some stuff because this is very important stuff to me and y'all are gonna see why, okay? And I said this in the last video. Dude, a lot of y'all don't know who you are, so you don't know where you're going, and this is your roadmap, so that's why we need to know how to look at it, okay? All right, so 7. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Y'all know why. Because the 7th house is scary. I'm just playing. But the 7th house is the opposite of the 1st house. So, what's the opposite of being yourself and being an individual and having an ego? That's being relative to other people, all right? This is the house of relationships. This is romantic relationships. This is friendships. This is partnerships. Anytime you and another spirit connect, you two are getting on a boat and you're going somewhere esoterically. So know that, all right? This is being relative to other people. This is what Libra is about. Next. I don't have much of this energy in my chart, so this is a fascinating house for me. The 8th house. This is spooky, spooky stuff. And this is opposite the 2nd in Taurus. So this is where Scorpio likes to chill out. And y'all mysterious Scorpios, nobody knows what y'all are doing. So this is the house of transformation, death, rebirth. Like I said, we're going to get into this later, but because this is a water house, it's a very mystical, very subconscious house, very psychic house. So the logical words are actually kind of hard for me to get out about this, but death, rebirth, transformation, psychic gifts are found here, all right? And let's take it full circle so we can keep on going. And I actually messed this one up when I did this yesterday with the Roman numerals. This is going to be IX. That's the 9. All right. So the 9th house is the opposite of the 3rd house. So the opposite of being relative to your immediate surroundings is taking that to a higher level. So we call the 9th house the house of higher learning because Jupiter rules over this house. So if your 3rd house is about your short-term commutes, this is about your long-term travels. This is about the books you read. This is about the people who touch your heart and touch your life and teach you things and bring you wisdom, not just knowledge, because knowledge means knowledge. And once you learn a bunch of stuff and get a bunch of information and you can't attach it to some stuff, it doesn't matter. And I'm speaking from my own experience, and a lot of you guys can relate, especially if you're walking your path. You start studying, you start doing the work, and you think you learned so much, and then after some point, you're gonna have to sit the fuck back and realize, dude, I haven't learned shit. I am smart enough to tell you guys I literally don't know anything. And if you're really wise, you know what I mean. Higher learning, that's what the 9th house is about. And that's my life path. I'm on life path number 9. So this is what I strive to do with everything. And that's why a lot of y'all, like my friends, are like, dude, it's not that deep. I know it's not that deep to you, but I'm looking at things from a higher perspective. And that's why. All right, what you gonna do when you're done with the 9th house? We're gonna go to the 10th. My dudes, my family, let's go. All right, so what's the opposite of your home? It's your career, your business, you know? And this isn't your career in business in the sense of your job, like the 3rd or the 6th house. This is gonna be what you're called to do. Why are you on this planet to begin with, guys? Think about that. You probably don't think about it because the world kind of takes us over and we get pulled around, but like that stuff you resonated with as a kid, that's likely your 10th house. What are you called to do? Not what are you doing? What's your purpose? This also does social status, things of that nature. This is Capricorn. And to go back a little bit, the 9th house would be Sagittarius. And then the 11th house. Boom, boom. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that's our 11th house. We're almost full circle. So if the 5th house is about your creations and your children, your family, the 11th house is going to be about everybody's children. So who is everybody's children? Dude, that's all of us. Literally everybody. Not just me, not just you. It does mean me and you, but it means everybody. We're looking at the group as a whole now. We're looking at the collective. This house is about the collective. My sun sign is in the 11th house. I spend so much time paying attention to this. And we're in the age of Aquarius, so everybody is also. And what you guys are realizing is that our intentions and our actions are shifting on what's good for everybody. This is a more globalized world than it has ever been. The age of Aquarius also sparked the internet. We are all connected, but we are all in our own individual space. So we're learning our place in the world. That's what the collective is about. Know your place in the world, but how you can be you in the world. You don't have to be the world. You got to be you. You understand what I'm saying? And I said this in the last video. The last house, last but certainly not least, this is a very, very important house, in my opinion, probably the most important house there is, guys. So we really need to understand this because this is what is killing everybody. Literally killing everybody, okay? And this is why I want you guys to understand astrology. If you didn't watch the last video, I seriously recommend it. Again, trigger warning, I probably dropped 100 F-bombs, but dude. Okay, the 12th house is the house of belief. Your belief. We also call this house the house of self-undoing. Why do we do that? Why do we call it that? Your belief is the world you be living in. Your belief is the world you be living in. Your belief creates your reality. Your reality is what's real a ti, real to you. If you speak Spanish and French, you get that. Study language because it's the science that contains all other sciences, okay? And this is a very mystical house. Again, this does correspond to a water sign. This is Pisces. So it does have a lot to do with the subconscious and the unconscious. But the thing about this, guys, look at your wheel. If you don't understand who you are and go full circle, if you don't understand your place in the world, your belief system is going to reflect that in everything you do, okay? And that's why a lot of you guys have very dangerous beliefs, toxic beliefs, and limiting beliefs about yourself or the world around you. You might think something inherently is wrong with you. You might think you're a bad person. You might believe that, and your world is going to reflect that. Or you might believe that you have to live your life through a religious filter that was not your own. That's what indoctrination is. I'd recommend study the word. Like, I use my words very carefully, like I said. But if you use a filter that's not your own, that you haven't experienced yourself, you're going to block your spiritual experiences through your filter, and then you're going to be in delusion your whole life, guys. That's what this is about. And we shifted from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius in about the 60s-ish. So we're transitioning from the eon of illusion and mysticism and things being hidden in plain sight and blind faith. And now we're shifting to the time of spirituality, which means creating your own religion, being an individual, not being part of the herd mentality. My path is my path, your path is your path. Nobody's path should be identical. It's like trying to do a foot race with someone who's faster than you. You're not going to get there. You're going to lose, and if you even get to where you're going, you're going to be there so much slower. So just do your own thing, for real. That's what this is about. So I hope this has given you guys a pretty brief overview about how astrology relates to the human life, because that's all it is. It's the principle of correspondence, guys. And if you don't understand that, let some dude with a beautiful voice read this book to you on YouTube for free. All it takes is your time and attention, which is your most precious resource. But when you invest it in yourself, it'll come back tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold. Y'all get me. Please like the video. Please leave me a comment. Share your ideas, because that's what this is all about, guys. Y'all are my family. I care about you. I love you, and I want you to connect with me because you're my community. I love y'all so much, for real. So, that being said, if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, share the video. Please, 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 please share the video. This is my life's work. I am called to do this, and this is written in my roadmap, okay? That's why I'm doing this. So, if you guys want to wait every Wednesday for me to make new videos, I will give you the tools by all means. If you want a one-on-one with me and get your own natal chart read, click the link in the bio and we'll get you a reading. It's only $25 right now, but I am absolutely going to raise my price on my birthday because my time is my most precious resource. It is valuable, and people are going to get natal readings from me regardless. So you can do yourself a favor and take advantage of this special offer, or you can pay me more money. I literally don't care either way, but this is your roadmap. And once you know who you are, you'll know where you're going. And to throw this in there, this isn't really important because this is not, it's very important, but it's not really corresponding to the info we're going over right now. Your natal alignments also show your past life energy, and you can't know where you're going if you didn't know where you've been. Real, real, real truth, okay? So we're already at 23 minutes. I'm going to sign off. I love you guys so much. Again, make sure you are doing the things. Subscribe, turn the bell on. You know what to do. Keep loving yourself. Keep taking care of yourself. Love yourself and other people with no strings attached, no ulterior motive, no agenda. And let's make this world a more positive place for everybody to live in, okay? Because that's what it's all about. Y'all feel me? Y'all feel me. Let's go. Mwah. Have a beautiful day.